What's up, everybody? Welcome to Aged Out Reacts with the two hosts of the Aged Out podcast, myself, Mike Fantini, and
Evan Worrell.
And today we're joined by none other than good friend of the podcast, Dan Schack. What's up, Dan?
Yo!
So before we get into this video of the Cavaliers 2011 finals lot, make sure you hit subscribe on the YouTube channel, like the video if you like what we're putting out here. If you want to check out the podcast, hit us up on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on YouTube right here where you're watching this. So, you guys ready to get into this 2011 Cavies? Mr. Schack here in the center, right there.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Dramatic.
It's a nice build-up.
Tacit time.
Drum corps changed so much in
Dude.
no time.
Dude, I remember the first time I saw all this, I was like, is this an exercise? Like, what's going on?
What is this?
I mean, it looks like an accent tab exercise.
It is. I mean, it definitely is.
In all fairness, Mike would for sure write this as an exercise.
Yeah. I don't know. I listened to this book now and still don't know how he wrote it. It's so weird. This is nasty.
These add-ins are clean.
We're playing through the drum. Like, we're playing very individually here, for sure.
Dude, you can tell looking at every single person in that snare line, like the quality. You're pretending the drum is like 2 inches lower than it actually is. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, we're playing through the drum, and we did not talk about blend really at all. This was a drum line that was like, you're going to play the heights, you're going to play the volumes, it's going to be perfect, and you're all going to have the same interpretation. I don't remember talking about blend ears. Mike McIntosh talks about that, but not Tim Maynard.
I was going to say, was Maynard around that summer?
Yeah, this was his last year, full year being the snare tech and the battery coordinator. And dude, it was all about what you do, that you're demonstrating perfectly, and that's it.
Just think about it. If everyone is producing the same sound, it's going to be blended because you're all producing a full, mature, open sound. Like, you don't have to worry about, like, am I overbalancing the guy next to me? Because you could ask anybody in the snare line and probably the quad line, play that part of the book by itself, and it's going to sound great, no matter whether it's the guy on the end or the guy in the middle. It's not going to matter.
Pretty much, but it takes a lot more effort to get there. But that being said, the outcome is what we're watching right now.
Yeah.
This is the outcome of that.
And these drums are sexy.
Oh, I love the finish.
Hockey shots.
Bass tuning.
Real good.
Amazing. I love the bass book.
That the quads actually speak.
Yeah, the quad tuning stood out to me a lot.
A lot of interplay with the quads and the snares.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the rhythmic interplay, like, everybody's got to be like locked in with tempo, or else it's just not gonna read.
Yeah, pause real quick, Mike. Pause real quick. But on that exact front, rhythmic interplay, we cleaned this book, snares to quads. You know what I mean? Like, we did clean it in sections like you would do normally, but like this year, I told everyone you have to sit with someone not in your section. So like, I sat with the center quad, Jack Hallway. Isaac sat with Matt Brashante. Travis Newman sat with whoever in the quad line. Like, we all actually cleaned on the bus with the quads because exactly what you're talking about. We're playing like in the sections, every single beat is a different rhythm, and then the quads are doing like a counterpoint to that. So we actually cleaned in our like off time between the sections. We didn't clean like in the snare section and the quad section. So that was part of it. That was a huge part of it. And it was totally different. I've never done that. I've never seen a group do that since then. It was like totally a different approach.
It's interesting.
Worked out.
Is that Tim Maynard in the yellow right there?
That's Brian Tinkle.
I was going to say, who is this?
And then classic
Mac
is just
laying
down, just like admiring his handiwork.
He's like, yep. He's like, I wrote this. This is beautiful. These beautiful sounds. This was all me.
Yeah. Simple,
crispy
clean
intervals.
That's more of that interplay right there.
Dude, I love that the bass drums are just like filling up the space, but it's like still open.
They're walking, dude. It's a walking bass line, just like bass lines should do.
You think bass lines are getting overcomplicated nowadays?
There's less bass lines like this than there are ones that just rip
That's
lasers
true.
and hand-to-hands.
That's true.
This is abnormal.
Was there, before we play this next part, was there a lot of experience in this snare line?
Dude, there definitely was. Like, every single person in this drum line is either a vet or marched DCI. The only dude who didn't is on the far other side of the quad line that you can't see, Anthony Hernandez. He had just graduated from Winston Churchill High School in Texas. Everyone else marched, like when I look across the drum line, was like Tomas marched Vanguard and Blue Knights. Francisco's on the end of the snare line. He marched Crossman. Peter marched Colts. Mike Royer had marched 4 years of Blue Stars.
Yeah,
like,
I marched
it was
with Mike.
Stacked.
You
Yeah,
know what's
dude.
funny about Mike, dude? I liked Mike a lot the summer I marched with him in 2010. But when based on his drumming and his personality, when I saw the book you all were playing, I was like, Mike can't do that. Coming from the Blue Stars environment and the way those books were, and it's a testament to how good Mike is. Like he was an awesome dude, great drummer. We all were just kind of like, he's gonna go from like these Blue Stars books and play a Mac book, and then obviously it worked out. You all were incredible, so he was not an issue at all.
Dude, he had great chops, but he just played with a lot of wrist turn, and I played with more arm, so I felt like he looks a little different, but like he could play everything. He had zero issue with it. I think he loved marching the dot system too, because he was just so solid as an individual.
He was very much kind of a dot Nazi at Blue Stars, if I remember right.
Dude,
very much so.
That's all we did here. That wasn't even like, again, we didn't talk about form. You don't refer to the shape you're standing in. You're alone out there. So he was great. He actually he kind of adapted really quickly to this. Nice. I just think his hands, he's just more like just wrist oriented.
No, yeah, you know? Mike Royer, great guy. He's a good teacher now too, from what I've heard and everything. Great drummer.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Boom.
So tasty.
Yep. Simple but effective.
Do a little accelerando here.
That's Mike Royer on the end, by the way, for anyone wondering.
Run.
Little packs too.
Running through all this.
Did you say you're running through all this?
Yeah, we had a lot of direction changes.
Dude,
and we
Cavaliers
have a lot of
don't do hard drill. Don't say you were running. Come
I know,
on.
dude. I would never say that if it weren't true, but this was a part that we were had very large oblique movements. So you're super low to the ground. You know what I mean? It's not like Crown. It's not like the cadets where you're stand up straight, blah, blah. The bigger your step size is, the more centered your core is and your center is. And you're just dropping your center. You know what I mean? So we were it was kind of like a jazz run almost. But dude, between this letter and the next letter of music, and then one letter of music in the next video we're going to watch, I believe we're going to watch that next.
I think so.
Those are my only hard moves at Cavaliers in 2 full seasons, straight up. I'm not exaggerating at all.
That's awesome.
Michael Gaines, I thanked Michael Gaines on my podcast. I'll thank him again. Thanks, Michael Gaines. Appreciate it. Easy
Dude, I like these double buzz presses. Well, you already know.
All right, I got to rewind this for a second because you have the quads doing some kind of groove and the snares are doing all kinds of notes here. I want to hear that again. Just the overlay of the quad music over the snares is really interesting.
Ding, ding, ding.
Bass drums back there.
Big finish.
Hand-to-hand accents.
I didn't hear much in there. Did you guys hear any ticks?
At the last section, I heard a little bit of gray.
We just got. I think we spread section to section a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. Within the subsections, nothing sounded off. Or
it's not too much.
Tickish.
Bro, I gotta tell you guys.
A little quad thing where they're doing that. With that little crossover
dude,
on the 1-2.
The quads got called out both the years I marched in our finals run. There are quad ticks on our finals tape, so I'll go on the record saying that.
Those bums.
Yeah, those bums.
They cost you a drum trophy. No, not really.
Maybe not in 2010. Phantom was always going to win. But you guys are going to love this, and anyone who's listening to this podcast is going to love it, especially you, Ice Cream. So after after this lot, just like today, Ice Cream was in the lot. Brian Byrer, my dude, and he like came up to me right after this lot. He's like, "Dude, you guys are so clean. Any little mistake you make is so obvious." And I was like, "Dude, you don't know how to give a compliment."
I was like, that's like the most backhanded compliment I've ever heard.
That is totally something he would say
that is
after like a
something he
day
would say.
long of being
But
in
dude,
the lot.
he's right, and you
Yeah.
can hear it even in the videos.
Yeah.
It's so perfect when it spreads. Like like our spreading is like how clean the rest of the drum lines were. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and your ears become accustomed to it. And that's the thing is like every drumline standards are their own. And like if you're dirting out, but your dirt is cleaner than like 5th through 12th, you're good. You know what I mean? So we were in a situation where like our dirt was like one person maybe with a touch issue, and like we were playing rhythmically on point. But I'll say like I think Ice Cream was right. I think he was totally right. And he's one of Crown's biggest fans. Crown Drums. As an alumni, I respect Ice Cream for being a fan. So
Sure, for sure.
shout out
For sure.
Shout out
All
Ice
right.
Cream.
We're going to get into the next video from that same warm-up of some different little bit of book here. You were so skinny, Dan.
And red.
That's Dan, by the way, for those that are unaware what Dan Schack looks like.
I'm sunburnt.
Very
Battery
much so.
Captain.
Brett
Red
Kuhn!
Sanford
Was that Brett
award-winning
Kuhn right
drumline.
there?
That is
Dude,
Brett Kuhn.
that's Brett Kuhn, man.
Mike Mack
So
laying
cool.
down.
Wow.
Brett Kuhn.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. This is so cool. I love this music.
This whole book is probably one of my favorite drum corps books.
It's known.
Little rim knock.
All the sounds are accounted for.
The quality.
Yeah, that's clean.
Oh, dropped his mallet.
Pause.
Dude, these dude
That's
coming up here,
7
these cold attacks.
But bro, the one we just ended on, it was no release. There was no release.
I didn't even notice
We
that.
just
I
went-
got to rewind.
Yeah, we went.
We'll
And we're
watch
at the
this
gut
dude
edge.
drop his mallet again, and then we'll.
Yeah, Kyle
Is
Miller.
that Kyle?
Yeah, that's my dude. Yeah, he's awesome.
All right, let's.
He almost marched X 2012, if you guys remember.
I
And
I do
he did-
remember that. Yeah.
He did PASIC and then he quit. Shout out Kyle, that's my dude. But yeah, this roll we go like and we play like an open 7-stroke, stopping on the left hand. So take a
Alright.
peek. It's pretty dope.
That was
No
dope.
release.
And then these cold attack
Cold
sevens are
attack.
just nasty.
Singles.
Using the zones. Dude, the edge quality is nuts.
Got it.
Oh,
That was a little thick on the quad.
Yeah. The day crescendo rim shots is like pioneer. Solo shot.
Boom.
All the timbre
this dude looks
represented.
bored.
Because it's easy for him because he's good. That was my hardest drill for that show. That was the hardest drill. Bro, pause it right here.
The
Mike.
little
Pause
bass
it.
vision.
So, I'm not going to talk about the bass drum quacking vid because it's cool, it's fine. Do you see how the snares heads are tilted to the right?
Yeah.
Our caption head made everyone do that because we were on side 2 of the field and I had to watch the drum major for this part because this is a percussion feature.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to watch and I was looking to my right. So he defined the entire snare line's head as looking to the right. That's where we were at with this drum line. We were defining head angles as it related to looking at the box, which I think is, I would never do that now. That's so absurd, but Tink was like, that's what we're doing. So we just did it and we hyped it and whatever.
Is Max still at Cavies?
Mike McIntosh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
For 10.
I can't believe it's been there that long. The real question is he going to take over at BD when Scott Johnson retires finally?
Oh, the tea, dude. You're sipping the tea. I forgot about.
Conspiracy
Yeah.
theories.
Yeah, because he came when he switched to Pro Mark, everyone was like, "Oh, he's gonna go to Blue Devils when Scott Johnson leaves." Why would Scott Johnson leave the Blue Devils? He has an RV that he lives in when they're on the road.
You gotta
He's not
pay,
leaving,
man.
dude.
So basically he'll retire when he dies, is what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think Scott's gonna leave anytime soon. And I honestly think I think Mike Mack is to the Cavaliers as Scott Johnson is to the Blue Devils. Like I don't think Mack
Wants
has
to
that
leave?
allegiance to the Devs. Like he's an alumni of Blue Devils. He marched
Uh-huh.
I think 89 and 90. But I think he is more like emotionally connected to Cavaliers because that was his first like teaching gig for real. After I think Velvet Nights, he said. He
Nice.
loves Cavaliers. He taught those Coon years when they were unstoppable.
How old is Scott Johnson? 50s? Older?
I have no idea.
When did he march, dude?
I don't know.
I bet he's like 60s or 70s.
I think he's not 70. I bet he's early.
Mid-60s.
My guess is early 60s. If anyone knows, drop a comment on the video.
I think he's late 50s. I'm gonna take a little guess while we're just
looking at
throwing-
him. All right, let's go through this video. Let's keep going. We can figure that out later. This is not one of the podcasts. We got to keep watching the video.
Yeah, you're right.
Little hair.
Hat brim.
Yeah, little Cavaliers vision. I put that in right there.
You did?
Had to do it. Yeah, I put the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Got to be in there somewhere. Dude, I love this group.
Part. Yes.
Goes up and then down.
And the quad part.
So,
Here we go.
I also got to point out the tuning of every section is so exposed. All three sections, like the bass tuning, is even exposed.
Yeah, so I mean,
So
pause real
articulate.
quick. Mike, pause real quick. But I think this actually connects perfectly to the conversation we had before recording, where you guys were talking about Vanguard's amazing battery blend. Do you think this battery has an amazing blend?
Yes, but it's way more apparent when it is not locked in, as we were talking about
Definitely.
earlier. It punches you in
Yes.
the face when it's not locked in, but when it is locked in, it sounds so high quality.
And the tuning here is the opposite approach of Vanguard, where I feel like they take each end and they sort of find a nice middle range. We have like snares, basses, quads. Like we all represent a very different voice, but I think the blend you get when we're hitting it is like a very, very original
It's
and
a distinct
authentic and
sound.
specific, distinct sound. Yeah, so it's like you can have a good blend with the tuning like SEV tends to have, or you can tune where it's like very striated. It's very different, but you get different results. So it's not like one is right and one's wrong.
Yep.
Scott Johnson, 62.
Wait, 62?
62.
I believe that. Okay. He's got at least 10 more years in him.
Here we go.
The more it
Neon.
sticks.
Don't tick.
This is like
What is happening?
You had to be on the field for it.
I was
dude.
going to say, that's one of those sections that looks so goofy in the lot, but like I'm sure in the context of the show on the field, it made perfect sense and looked really cool. I don't know. I don't think I ever even saw this show on the field, if I'm being honest.
What? Dude, bro.
I don't think I have. I'll do my
I was there. I
homework.
witnessed finals live.
I'll do my homework later.
We were all right. We were better the year before. This snare break's really, really cool.
Trees. All right, that's the iconic like right hand rim shot decrescendo. There was rhythm behind that, right? Those were actual rhythms switching.
Sounds like fivelet.
Yeah, like what was the?
It was 2 beats of 8th note fivelets, 1 beat of 8th note, and then a chord note triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 and 4 triplet.
Because the way those rhythms play with each other, changing that fast, makes it sound like you guys are just like dechelling naturally across like 4 beats, which I'm sure is the intended effect of that. But
D-chill.
Yeah. Just 5, 2, and 3 slowing down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And then there was like 1, 2, 3, boom, cut, 2 quarter notes, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Something like that. I love that part, the double flame drags.
Yeah. Tempo change.
Okay.
I have to say, Dan, I don't think you've played below 6 inches on anything this entire video.
nah, it's a camera angle.
No, I
Dude,
claim center snare hands. That's what I claim.
Didn't you say too, like at the end of the year, you guys were doing like 4 or 5 run throughs a day or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were doing 5. We were doing like 5 and more standing still. Oh, no, let's not watch this one.
No, we're not.
Here we go. Check this out.
All right, guys.
My
early
inner
season.
beats were probably 4 inches.
I would say
Realistically.
I'll give you that. All right. Let's wrap this up. Thanks, everyone, hanging out, checking out the video. Again, hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. Like the video if you like what you saw. Drop a comment if you feel like it. Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and, of course, YouTube. Wherever you want to listen, share the video with your friends. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Boom.